Millions of homeless animals are euthanized every year in the United States. Okay, so let's take a look at what the real numbers are if we don't spay and neuter. Female dog and puppies, 6 years. 67,000 dogs can be born to one unspayed female dog and her mate and all their puppies, 67,000. Would we say that contributes to overpopulation? Yeah. I'd say so. Let's go to the kittens. Unspayed, unneutered, 3 litters a year, 2 to 8 surviving kittens per litter, 10-year breeding life. In 10 years, they multiply to, take a look at that 9th year. What's that number? Almost 14 million kittens would be born if we don't spay and neuter. This is all part of the cycle of overpopulation. And when people don't spay and neuter, this is what happens. There's Helen with her rescued kitty. So here are the causes of pet overpopulation. We talk about breeding. Pet owners want to have their pets have babies. Pets are left to wander the street unspayed, unneutered, and wander anyway. Ignorance. People don't understand the importance of spaying and neutering. And buying pets only creates taking homes away from homeless animals instead of rescuing. The best thing, don't buy, don't breed, adopt an animal from a shelter or a rescue organization. It saves 2 lives. One, the animal is adopted, and that leaves space for another to come up for adoption. Too many people are still breeding, and that's a huge problem, and that's one of the problems of pet overpopulation. 2,000 to 3,500 dogs and cats are born every hour. 6 to 8 million dogs and cats enter shelters every year. I think the number 3 to 4 million, it says dogs and cats are euthanized every year. I think it's closer to 5. Once you count to 8, an animal is euthanized every 8 seconds in this country. That's a crazy number, right? That's a number we got to bring down. There's no reason for that number. We got to educate people to spay and neuter. That's super, super important, and not to breed. Only 1 out of every 10 dogs finds a permanent forever home. That means 10 dogs enter the shelter, 1 comes out. 9 are euthanized. Only 1 cat out of 12 finds a permanent home. 12 cats enter the shelter, 1 comes out. 55% of dogs and puppies in shelters are euthanized. 71% of cats and kittens in shelters are euthanized. That's a crazy number. That's a crazy number. For a country like us, we ought to have much better statistics. Voice for the Animals has a hotline. That's the number. Take it down. We can get your animal spayed and neutered for very, very low cost. Now, we're going to go true or false. Let's see. It's better to have 1 litter before spaying and neutering my female pet. Well, now we give you the answer. I want to not give you the answer. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, so false. Every litter counts. Evidence shows that females spayed before their first heat are typically healthier. So what we're finding is that when female cats and dogs are spayed after their first heat or after their first litter, their chances of cancer rise significantly to the point that it becomes, I believe it's 90%. That's pretty heavy, you know. We have people who call our hotline who say, oh my God, I love my dogs, but I should have spayed and neutered them. All of a sudden my dog has cancer. I say, well, how old's your dog? My dog is 3 years old, very young. Yes, very young, but why didn't you spay your dog? And then we find out that they really didn't know. It wasn't a question that they didn't love their dog. They thought, oh, it's too expensive. Oh, she doesn't really need it. Oh, I need to have a litter. My vet told me I have to have a litter first. All those are just absolutely not true. If I spay and neuter my pet, he or she will become fat and lazy. You've heard this? You guys have ever heard this? Okay, we get this a lot. No. Pets get fat and lazy only because their human family members overfeed and under-exercise them. They don't get, people think, oh, I'm going to spay my dog and he's going to get fat. No. I've spayed and neutered all my animals and they've never gotten fat. It's only when we feed them too much and we don't walk them and we don't give them enough exercise, that's what happens. Next. Spaying and neutering my pet reduces the risk of certain types of cancer. Absolutely. Evidence shows that spaying and neutering your female early in life eliminates risk of uterine, ovarian, and breast cancer. Same with males and other types of cancer. We just talked about that. So that comes directly from the American Veterinarian Association. Having my male dog neutered will make him less likely to bite. Have you guys heard this? You've heard that? Do you know that I think it's like 98% of dogs found killed on streets are unneutered males. Reason being, an unneutered male is going to look for females, they're going to try to get out of the fence, they're going to try to get out of the yard, and that's what happens, they get hit by cars. The operation will cause a lot of pain. Have you heard this? Yes. Yes. Okay, not true. It's not true. I mean, any of you guys have had some kind of minor surgeries or your tooth removed or, you know, my pet should experience the miracle of birth. Oh my goodness, we hear this all the time. All the time. I want my kids to experience the miracle of birth. And my answer to them is they need to go experience the miracle of death. Let them go sit over at the shelter and watch Sergio here at West LA, or I think he may be at South Central. Watch him, his poor little heart broken every day because he has to put down all these animals. It's not his fault. Absolutely, it's not his fault he has to euthanize them. It's because people wanted people to experience the miracle of birth, which is insane. We don't understand, too many people don't understand that every time we allow animals to be born, we're taking a home away from more animals. It's just not fair. If my purebred pet has babies, it won't be hard to find homes for them. Okay, 1/4 of all animals in shelters are purebreds. Did you guys know that? There's 500 purebred rescuers in the city of LA. So people call our hotline and say, I want a Shih Tzu, or I want a Golden, or I want a this, or I want a that. And we give them the number of the purebred rescuer, which there's purebred rescuers who go into the shelters every single day, or the shelters have their number. When they get a purebred in, what they will do is call that rescue group and have them take them out. Sally Perkins with Poodle Rescue has a big house in Beverly Hills for all her poodles. And she's got poodles of all size, standard, miniature, teacup, you name it. People turn in purebreds all the time. And then I have to ask, how much like your parents are all of you? Right? We're pretty different from our parents, our siblings. So why would we think that when we allow an animal to have a litter, they're going to be like their mother or father? There's no reason. There's no logical reason to think that, although people do think that. And there it is, my dog. Oh, my dog won't be protective anymore. It's a dog's natural instinct to protect the home and family. A dog's personality is formed more by genetics and environment than by sex hormones. Absolutely true. A dog's going to protect the people they love, not because they're unneutered. That has never been the case.